They say he dreamed one night of a place with endless streams of cold water.
Sadok Burrows, the Harfoot trail finder, sang the Harfoots' wandering song in Season 1 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which was humorous in its absurdity. The Harfoot walking song is ridiculed by Nori and Poppy for having seemingly meaningless lyrics that only refer to the group's catchphrase, "Nobody goes off trail and nobody walks alone." With the walking song guiding Nori, Poppy, and the stranger over the Rhûn desert in the first 3 episodes of Season 2, which were released simultaneously, it seemed as though we were getting closer to the truth. But in Eldest, the 4th episode of The Lord of the Rings, we find out why precisely this music is from these regions and the tragic fate of the Stoors now living in Rhûn, which connects to the story's overarching themes. The Stoors of Rhûn are actually the subject of the Harfoots' walking song. After Nori asserts that Sadok Burrows is the Harfoots' leader, Gundabale, also referred to as the Gund, and the Stoors' leader, tells her the song's origin. When Gundabale leads Nori to a rock, she notices that it bears the oath mentioned in the walking song about the Harfoot. According to Gundabale, one of Sadok Burrows' ancestors was a halfling named Rorimas Burrows from the Stoor tribe of Rhûn. He had a dream of a place where there was endless steams of cold water flowing freely and the ground was soft. Then, with a vow to send someone back to find them, Sadok's ancestor took a caravan of Stoors and set out in pursuit of the Suzat, the Promised Land. Rorimus promised to send someone back to the Stoors, but for some reason he never did. It's possible that he killed them together with one of the Gaudrim, the masked horsemen that work for the Dark Wizard in Karasker. But Rorimas's caravan seems to have left Rhûn generations ago, possibly even before the Dark Wizard came to Middle-earth. The Harfoot catchphrase, "Nobody goes off trail and nobody walks alone," may perhaps provide an explanation for why they chose not to send a messenger. In any case, it's fascinating that the walking song has been inherited by many generations. Tradition has preserved it, even though it has no real meaning. Tradition has frequently worked against other people in J.R.R. Tolkien's writings. In The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, for example, Eowyn, Miranda Otto, is forbidden from going to battle. However, in this case, it could well be able to save the Stoors from Rhûn's desolate wasteland. But there are connections between some of the central themes of The Lord of the Rings and the tragedy of no one being returned to the Stoors and the Harfoots, finally forgetting about them as they kept wandering, as Nori phrased it. The risk of forgetting and the risk of communication between peoples decreasing are issues that The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, addresses from the outset. In the prologue, Tilda Swinton's monologue as Galadriel mentions how some things that should not have been forgotten were lost, alluding to the One Ring. This is the catalyst for everything that happens in The Lord of the Rings. The previous alliances are mentioned frequently throughout, as Theoden, Bernard Hill, tells Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen, in The Lord of the Rings. The two towers as they get ready for war, at Helm's Deep, despite all the odds. A comparable reminder of these themes, and what happens to those left behind when they are forgotten, may be found in the Harfoots' walking song. They can sing a song that genuinely has a lot of regret that the Harfoots, especially Rorimus Burrows, should feel about leaving their old family behind because history has been so completely forgotten. Of course, the bright side is that Nori is now here and could be able to assist the Stoors in locating the Harfoots, thereby bringing the two clans back together. As Gandalf tells Frodo in Fellowship of the Ring, when the latter wishes the ring had never found him, this might be read as a reference to the great scheme of Eru Ilúvatar, the one who created Middle-earth, and the idea that everything happens for a purpose,